This is the history of South America, but in a comparison game or something, I don't know. So, alright. The first people who went here was the Portuguese, and the Portuguese realized that this was a pretty great amount of land to gain from, and also started doing the empire. They first landed in Bahia and started to go forward into their claims, going even deeper and going to Minas Gerais. But also the Spanish people were already there and started to realize that Portuguese were there. So they signed up a treaty which will they divide like the world like this. Let's just divide the world to this. And it actually seems pretty unfair that they only get to this amount. Like, I mean, they were the first to explore, while Spain gets the rest of South America and still goes on to invade Mexico. And I mean, he still isn't expanding, and Spain is losing its land, and the first state or country probably independent was Paraguay. But Paraguay wasn't big like that, alright? Paraguay wasn't that big. Paraguay was small. And when I say Paraguay was small, I mean Paraguay was actually pretty small if you compare it to today. Paraguay's borders back then was just this. If you take off this piece. Paraguay's border, the capital was still there. Somehow, I mean, Asuncion for some reason it is the closest capital to one of the strongest countries in South America. But whatever, it did gain independence. So these are pretty small islands the Portuguese got. The Portuguese started to expand a lot further and managed to get into Rio Grande do Sul and also starting to take care of Uruguay, plus transforming it into Cisplatina, which was a Brazilian state back then. Brazil gained independence and shot the Portuguese out. So which means the Brazilians wasn't just that big. They didn't have Acre, and they didn't have that much, a lot of land. And also, Pará was Grand Pará back then, and Amazonas was a lot bigger back then. Also, São Paulo was in the rule of Rio de Janeiro. That explains a lot. Thanks, Brazil. Alright, next. Well, so, Chile, Argentina wanted these small islands for some reason. Why would Argentina, such a big country, take care of so many small islands? But Argentina was smaller, and it was landlocked. Here, let me show you. Argentina was just this big. If we just take off this piece, Argentina was just that big. I think Buenos Aires was also there. Some other countries showed up, but these ones were also capitals. So the French were also here. Probably the Dutch was here. The Guyanas was also here. So probably these guys were still part of the British Empire. So now the British Empire had to take care of the United States. So Guyana went independent. Probably. Alright, I don't know 100% of the entire Brazilian story. But Uruguay got independent, which also made Chile independent, and Bolivia. Bolivia was a lot bigger back then. Let me show you. Bolivia had access to coast and had Acre, making Bolivia the one sole reason why Brazil was this big. They bought it with actual probably money, or probably invaded. And Bolivia lost it probably through a war. But now let's continue. Peru got independent. Oh wait, Bolivia was the last independent country, I forgot. But everybody else went independent. And the Falkland Islands are still British. this was it. This is more than 5 minutes long. I hope you guys enjoy.